my parents really didn't acknowledge my sexuality at all. I had three older brothers. I don't think any of us were really. I think my parents were more self-absorbed to the point where they didn't think about us as sexual creatures. So it was never, not until my, the teenage years did I even broach the subject with them, and then it was a very disturbing kind of reaction. But when I was a little kid, no, we were never taught, because my father's like, he's kind of specializes in proctology, so we're like, everything was kind of out in the open, you discuss hemorrhoidectomies over dinner. And it was a very kind of anally oriented family, so it wasn't like, you're not going to talk about hemorrhoids and turn around and, tell your kid, it was all kind of, everything was like wild and out in the open. And yet, when I wanted to take a shower with my father when I was 4 years old, my mother said no. Which I think was a big mistake because, you create this, this mysticism and illusion about, the opposite sex. What's a 4-year-old kid? I mean, you see your father, big deal. And it was in the back of my friend Diane Adler's father's van. He had like this company that had a van. She was with somebody, I was with somebody, and he was, he put his hand down my pants and he was like, whatever. He didn't know and I didn't know what he was doing either. And it didn't feel that good. For either one of us, I'm sure. But later, when I looked at myself down there, I thought that he had like irreparably damaged me and had changed the shape of everything. And I got really paranoid. And from that point on, I was like really obsessed with disease and, any kind of. I thought his hands were probably dirty and he'd like done something that like caused an infection. A kid's mind will do strange things. Yeah, I did. I jerked off a lot in high school, like every other normal. Yeah, I think everybody starts to masturbate. I don't remember whether I actually came. My parents are going to be real happy to hear this news. I'm an open book this year. Everything's coming out. No, it's not. There was this kid next door, this brother and sister, they were twins, I think, and this guy called me up, his name was David, and he asked me out on a date to go to a movie, and I really, really wanted to go out with him. I really kind of had a crush on him. He was a little fey, actually, in retrospect, but, I didn't really think about that. He was cute. And my mother said, absolutely not, you cannot go out on a date with him. And I was like, why? We got into this huge thing. She goes, no, you can't. You just can't. And the message underneath that was, no, because it'll lead to something. But my mother being, a little bit confused and not always clear about her messages would never just come out and say that or have an open discussion. So I didn't really know. So after that, I don't think anybody ever asked me out on a date. I asked my dad one time about, what's it like to have an orgasm? He's like, I don't know what the hell it's like. You feel good. So he kind of like brushed me off. I was like, and I felt really weird about it and guilty and uncomfortable. And so like he had these like little booklets from his office that you give teenage kids to read about sex. I read those. My mother gave me some Jewish book about, when two people get married, that kind of thing. And I used to read that and diagrams and, used to close my room, listen to Joni Mitchell and read that book a lot. No, I don't remember. I don't. Something. When I started having sex, I never used rubbers. I guess I took my chances most of the time in my adult life. Of course, now it's a completely different situation. You don't have sex at all. You don't need rubbers or anything.